This story is from Kenya. Kenya hears heartbreaking claims against UK soldiers. A landmark public inquiry into allegations of human rights violations by British troops in Kenya has been hearing the heartbreaking testimony from those who say they were mistreated. Dozens of people have this week given evidence to the parliamentary inquiry into the alleged misconduct of soldiers from British Army Training Unit Kenya. Batuk. Among them are the family of a young woman allegedly disabled in a hit and run by a British Army truck, a mother who says she was abandoned when pregnant, and a man who was mauled by a lion in the wake of fires allegedly started on an Army training exercise. Mauled by a lion. Damn. The Batuk base in Nanyuki, about 200 kilometers, 125 miles north of the capital of Nairobi, and was established in 1964, shortly after the East African nation gained independence from the United Kingdom. Kenya's Defense Minister Aden Duale has said that Kenya will seek prosecutions for any British soldier alleged to have broken the law during deployments over the decades. The UK High Commission in Kenya told the BBC it was aware of the proceedings, and Batuk attended to cooperate with the inquiry. Hundreds of people have this week flocked to 4 public hearings held near Batuk base to listen to emotional accounts of alleged misconduct by British soldiers. Mamusi Lockheed testified that British officials promised to look after her 20-year-old daughter, Chala Mamusi, who is in a wheelchair after allegedly being injured by a British Army truck in a hit-and-run incident in January 2019. They sent a representative to tell me that they don't want a court case and that they would take care of my daughter. The 40-year-old mother told one of the hearings held outdoors under a marquee in Archer's Post, where the British Army conducts infantry exercises under an agreement with the Kenyan government. Up to 6 infantry battalions per year carry out 8-week exercises in Kenya. Ms. Lockheed said they paid for her daughter's hospital bills for 2 years, but had failed to pay compensation as promised. Lino Limarabamba told the BBC he witnessed the accident and was shocked to see the British Army truck drive away after the collision. He stopped to help Miss Mamusa. It was a Batuk truck. I tried to stop it, but it kept going. He alleged it was a tragic scene, blood all over. Her bones were crushed. People were afraid to touch her, he said, describing how difficult it was to lift her into his pickup and take her to the hospital. Another emotional testimony at that hearing came from 20-year-old Generika Namoru, who was accompanied by her 5-year-old daughter. She told members of an inquiry established by Kenya's Parliamentary Defense Committee that she became pregnant while she was in a consensual relationship with a British soldier stationed at Batuk. When she informed him she was pregnant, he ended the relationship and left Kenya, leaving her to raise the child by herself. They kept in touch for a while, and she told him about the birth and their daughter, but then all communication had stopped. All I want is child support, that my child can go to school and have a better future, she said. The hearings also heard evidence from a string of people who said they have suffered from serious health problems following a fire allegedly started by British soldiers during a training exercise being hosted at a wildlife sanctuary in 2021. The blaze, said to have lasted 4 days, destroyed more than 12,000 acres of land and left at least 1 person dead. Lepozo Legi, who was wearing a traditional Maasai outfit at the hearing, testified that he was lucky to be alive after being attacked by a lion that came closer to human settlements after the fire had destroyed the natural habitat. I was mauled by a lion, and under these shuka, his clothes, I have injuries on my back. I nearly died. He added that farming had also become impossible. We can't plant maize. Animals keep invading. Our dogs have been mauled by hyenas and leopards. Several people said they had developed serious respiratory and eye problems. Simon Kaburu presented his medical records to the MPs and explained that he had to have medication to deal with chest problems after smoke inhalation. More than 7,000 local people are believed to have started legal action against the British Army following the fire. The inquiry has largely been prompted by the shocking case of Agnes Wanjiru. Her body was found in a septic tank in 2012 after the 21-year-old had apparently been spotted with a group of British soldiers on a night out. A 2019 inquest concluded that she was murdered by one or two British soldiers. Esther Njuku, Agnes Wanjiru's niece, the public inquiry this week heard further allegations that Butok and the Kenyan authorities were involved in a cover-up of her death. Miss Wanjiru's niece, Esther Njuki, told one of the hearings at Njuki's social hall on Tuesday about the family's frustration over the delay in any prosecution. "We want closure. We are demanding justice," she said. Kenya's Doctorate of Criminal Investigations has opened an inquiry into the death, but not charged anyone, and Kenya has not asked for the extradition of suspects. The UK has indicated it would not oppose any request for a suspect to be extradited. MP Nelson Coach, chair of Kenya's Parliamentary Defense Committee, told the BBC some of the allegations heard at the hearings were new and heartbreaking. "It has hit me that things have been happening here, whether they are true or not, we will see," he said. The defense minister said on TV interview this week that Kenya had benefited from the historic defense partnership with the UK and said that more than 1,500 local people were employed at Butuk. But Mr. Duele said the current inquiry could lead to the government seeking closer engagement with the UK over issues raised, adding all criminal acts committed on our soil would be dealt in the host country, that is Kenya. A spokesperson for the UK Commission in Kenya said, "We are aware of Kenya's National Assembly, Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee is conducting a parliamentary inquiry into the activities of Butuk in Kenya. The British High Commission in Nairobi and Butuk intend to cooperate with the inquiry. The UK-Kenya Defense Partnership is one of the great strengths of our relationship, and our joint training and operations with the Kenya Defense Forces are keeping both Kenya and British people safe." There you go. You listening to the governing official. They are only concerned with their bottom line. That's how most of those countries are over there. Until you get these corrupt leaders out, you're going to continue to have these problems. You know, these British soldiers over there running roughshod over the people, running over people and keep going, and burning the plains so they can't farm, pushing them out of that area. It's what it does. If you can't farm the land, how are you going to survive? One leaves some girl pregnant and then runs back to the UK. This is typical. Like I say, it's not going to stop until you, first off, you put some leaders in there that's not going to just be interested with their money. And also talking about how if you burn the habitat, the animals are coming closer to the humans. This dude got mauled by a lion, and then they having hyenas and leopards running up. You got to get those corrupt leaders out of there and put somebody in that's not going to just try to get a bag. And this girl that got murdered, and they threw her in a septic tank. Earlier that night, she was seen with two British soldiers, and then she somehow is killed, and nothing is done, and you got the government just covering this shit up. Yeah, they need to get them out of there. If they treating the people that way, it's not even worth it. Whatever they paying you, it's not worth it. All right, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.